Hello and welcome to Central Online. I hope you have been enjoying your week and enjoyed the sunshine.
It's been really hot. I think we need a drink.
Today my mum's going to do communion and then we're going to hear part 2 of Rob Martin's life story. Last week was amazing and today we're going to learn more about Rob's journey. First we're going to worship.
People come together, strangers, neighbors, our blood is one. Children of generations, of every nation, of kingdom come. Don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth: God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now salvation is in His blood. In Jesus, light of heaven, friend forever, His kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth: God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh,
So if you've been at any of our in-person services, you'll have seen that we've been using these little disposable emblems for our communion. And as we peel back and start with the wafer that represents the body of Jesus, I love that it's a circle, and obviously the people that make it have made it a circle so it fits perfectly on top of here. But I'm just reminded of a song when I look at this, a song I used to sing. I learned it years ago at a faith mission camp, and it spoke about how God's love is like a circle big and round, and when you see a circle, no ending can be found, and there is no end to the love that Jesus had for us, so much so that John 3:16 tells us that He sent His only Son to die for you and for me. And then as we come to this little cup of juice that represents the blood that was shed, I have no idea what flavour is in this juice, and if you like it then that's great, but I personally think it's got a really bitter taste and it's quite horrible. But then again, as I take this cup every week in church, I am reminded of the horrible death that our sinless Saviour had to go through for you and for me. The Bible speaks about how Jesus was humiliated and how he was whipped 39 times. He wore a crown of thorns on his head, and there was nails hammered into his hands and his feet as he hung there on the cross, and finally a spear that went into his side. And he did this all because he loved us so much. He endured that horrible death on the cross and paid the price for you and for me. So let's worship as we remember the body that was broken and the blood that was shed.
Swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. And swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. And swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Whoa, 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 swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in his blood. And Jesus, light of heaven, friends forever, his kingdom come.
Well, here we are, back at the church, and
Back at the church.
so we're going to go into the next part of the story of your life, and a lot of people might be thinking that is that not yet, but there's a lot more to go. And
Jeez, aye. What can you say to that? Oh.
so after last week, just before we get into this, so we'd had England beat Germany and that, but now they've thrashed Ukraine and they're in the semi-final tonight against Denmark. Obviously this will be going out after the tournament is all finished. Have they won, Rab? Is football, is it came home or has it come home? How do you say that? But
Yeah.
is
it's
it
at
home?
No, this Ben. I think it's home.
You think it's home?
I think it's home.
Let's see.
No.
Let's see if you're speaking the truth. People will know right now.
Yeah.
Is it home really though? Because the first international, St. Samus, the first international, maybe it was Little Ben, so I can't mind. The first international was played in Scotland against England, right? It was Scotland versus England, but it was in Glasgow. So if we got a claim to really, when it comes to international football, that this is the Euros is international football. Would coming home maybe coming home to Scotland?
No, this, I think, is a football nation. We've just to grasp at every wee bit of
So
thread
we'll
we
take
can.
it. This
so
is
yeah,
the home.
I'll take that.
We
This
started
is the
international football right here. So this is, and there's no way it's coming home here.
No.
So, oh well, all the best to England, obviously, if they've won it or no, we don't know. Hey, listen, Rab, we went through so much emotional stuff, but one of the things that I never spoke to you about was your mum passing quite a number of years ago. In comparison, how would you compare that? I kind of it's completely different for losing Alison, for losing your wife, but you know, how did you feel about that then? You know, you described Alison believing, you know, just before she went in, and then we could say that she's going to be with the Lord, but you knew your mum was a great Christian lady for many years. How do you feel about it?
No, that's my mum was the most loveliest, softest, caring person you could ever meet. And the thing is, I know my mum was a great Christian as well, but my mum was older, and we've all this memories built up when we're young, and I suppose it was like a natural progression. Even though I still anybody, mother, fathers, whatever, they still died too young. You never wants to lose their mum or dad, but it was acceptable. And Mum was older, and Mum loved Jesus. Mum was going home, and I believed that, and I know. So there wasn't there was that sadness because my mum had died, but there was that assurance, where Mum was going. Compared to Lois and Alison, that was arrangement. We had 40 years of memories to make it. And that was, sadly, that was taken away.
Can you just explain some of the challenges then that life was like? Obviously, we spoke about you being offshore, you had to give up that job, and now you were mum and dad to these two young girls. You know, take us through the challenges that you faced in that first while.
Tell you one thing, I had a hell new respect for mothers. Honestly, total respect in everything. I just didn't realise what it takes. I was really so naive working offshore. I came home for the 3 weeks. It was like a 3-week holiday to me. I know. Yeah. How much was I protected? It's unbelievable. I had a wonderful group of friends that rescued me. I know, but in a lot of situations. Lynn Alistair and Kirsten, they were brilliant. With the lassies as well, Richard and Gemma, they looked after Lois, and there's so many good people. Were out there, and I just threw myself into. They still needed looking after, and that's what I focused on. I focused on the building up the business and looking after them, which and even again going back to working mothers, how they do it. Trying to plan out the time, a timetable, working, picking them up, clubs, cooking the dinners, washing. washing, honestly, aye, I'm quite organised. No, when I get it, I'm quite organised. And on a Saturday, my morning was I done 5 dinners, and I cooked them all. And tell you, anybody wants a tip, get a hold of a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, brilliant thing. Soup, 25 minutes, done, dusted. Aye. So there we go. Made 5 dinners in the freezer. And then washing on, done all my cleaning. Yeah, I ran myself ragged
Yeah.
to fulfil all the roles.
Can I ask, Rob? There's a lot of people have lost very close loved ones, and some seem to cope better than others. Maybe everybody. I know that everybody has their days. So was it like that? Were you so busy you were getting on with things, and then it would just sort of crash in?
It was a funny note. I was at a client's house, and I was in the car, and I mind they came out and they said, "Do you want a cup of tea, Rob?" And that thing, because Alison was, "Cup of tea, love." "What cup of tea, love?" "Aye, hen. Cheers." Son and simple.
So
aye, just that.
A reminder. Like
And that was just aye, and bang, and it just hit aye, full force.
One of the next challenges for you was that Lois went through, and
jeez.
when we're speaking about knowing what to do, and if when you think how Alison being ill would have managed to cope and deal with it, but Lois
Mind that
diagnosed
night.
really bad diabetes. So how happened there?
I was working late, and Lynn and Kirsten, they came down to sit with them. And I mind Lynn phoned and says, "Look, Robert, I think you better come home." I phoned NH24, there's something seriously wrong with Lois. And I says, "Right, I'm coming in." So I packed up, and I'm going home, and I said, "What on earth?" I know that umpteen things goes through your head. And gets in, and Lois is on the couch, and she's just gone, coming and going out any consciousness. So we were told to take her to Turriff Hospital. So me and Kirsten, gets her into Kirsten's car, goes through and take her out. And the doctor, he came through, and they done, and he says, "Look," I mind we were just sitting a minute, and he came through, and he says, "Right," he says, "you need to get her to Aberdeen now." He said, "We've not got time for an ambulance. I phoned them up, they'll be waiting for you. You just need to get her through." And I'm just sitting there, we looked at it, "What now?" He says, "Aye, no." He says, "But I've another daughter." He says, "You've not got time. You need to go through now." Dearie me. I mean, just overload. And goes through, and we are hiking it through to Aberdeen. And I mind, saying to Lois, not trying to keep her conscious. And I would like to say no faith kicked in, and I prayed another hour for a, I didn't know. It was my wee lassie. I didn't ken what was wrong. And I could think it was the worst. No, it was only months. What was that? May, I think, and it was the following February. No, this happened, and I kind of lost 2. And my mind gets to the children's hospital, and carrying her, and my arms up, and emotions, and they came, they grabbed her, and they took her away, and I was just standing there, I was standing greeting like a baby, I just, I don't know what was wrong, why, dearie me, but I've had enough of this, No, I can't. Aye. How much more can I take, like? And it turned out that Lois had, she was in a diabetic coma. And she was, type 1. And I was saying, oh, goodness, what on earth? What is that? That's injections. Who's got to do the injections? No. It was, everything gone through in my mind and going, how am I going to cope with this? But no, it was funny because and this is faith, God's hand in it all, like, because I said, I don't know how I can do this. I have a business to try and set up here and run. She's got school, she has to inject, she's taking carbs. I says, Lord, I don't know what to do here. I'm at my wit's end. How am I going to do this? And I mind, the nurses that were in and they were showing Lois what to do. And Lois, she's a trooper. I mind the nurse came in and says, right, Lois, we'll give you your shot. And she says, look, give me that. I says, I better get used to it. I'm going to be doing it the rest of my life. Just 3 days in, and Lois was injecting herself. Lois took out that diabetes. I mean, that was a long trek. I mean, after that, she came out with her timetables were in disarray because I was through to Aberdeen every other week, counting carbs, courses, doing everything. But know what? I never injected Lois once.
She did it herself.
I never had it. Lois took it and she done it all herself. I mean, because I knew I couldn't handle that. At that point in time, with everything that's going on, and that if I had to, sit and work out injection, I was a mental. I just couldn't. It was just too much. But she, rallied on and just took possession of it, and Dad didn't need to worry about it. Oh, so no.
So was that a bit our mum and or?
Our mum's stubbornness is in the two of them. Yeah. But yeah.
So, the girls have just done so well. They're lovely queens. They're hard working, and if we take the journey through, you for me looking on, you pressed into God, and did things for just a wee while, was it starting to settle a bit? Going on for that a few years, businesses started up, getting used to how to be both parents, and them maturing a bit as well.
I mind going with Chloe to get her prom dress, and we goes in, and I felt so sorry for her. Because the woman, is your mum here? She went, no, my dad is. I said, is she coming later? And I went, no, sorry, no, I'm actually a widower. And then, and I could see, I mean, and that kind of things were hard, for the two of them, because that's a mum thing. No, and I just felt so sorry. I says, no, what? I'm really sorry, and you've got me. No, what do I ken about prom dress? You ken the usual response, that's lovely. Oh, that really suits you. No. Try when you get, And I was out of the back, and I know that she's been done. This is a mum thing. This is son, it's a day out, no, it's a big thing, no, go around, no, and pick out dresses.
I want to come to something that, in February 2020, most people were starting to hear about this coronavirus, and there was a wee bit of worry, but it wasn't really hitting and folk were really understanding what was going to happen with that. In a lot of people's years and lives changed in March 2020, but in February 2020, something happened to your cell, Rab. I want to read this in just a minute, but can you tell us what you went through?
Yeah. 12th of February. Oh, dear me. No, this was done in Edinburgh. Me and Barry Cheen. So we goes down, had a really good day, and was coming back home. Now, it was Lois's 17th birthday was coming up, and I had got her a wee car for her birthday, and that was it. Aye, Barry's. So we were running late, and I was there, Barry, because I was going to get a bit of Rablov. Day over for her birthday.
Yeah.
But as we were coming up the road, I says to him, I says, no, what, Barry, I'm going to take that car home. I was driving out of the road, and I was just speaking to God. No, and I was actually thanking him. Can you believe that? I was actually looking back, and I was saying, and just saying, no, what, Lord, this has been a trial, but know what, you've kept me, and we've came through it. I says, that's how the lassies are getting up now. I'm saying the business is looking up. I says, no, what, I'm going to actually have a bit of time with myself, and things are actually looking good. I think we have got good. No, we've come through the worst of this. No, and there is good ahead. No, I can see. I was getting back. I was fairly positive, and for a long time I was actually happy. I was actually happy, and then in that split second, there was headlights, just there, and yeah, life changed.
So a car had came, just to explain to somebody watching, the car had came for a side road.
Yeah, the car came for the
Couldn't
side road.
Skidded right into the main road that you were on, hit you, and both went into the park.
Aye, I was one of them. I mind, still plain as day. I can see it. It's just the lights, and I remember saying, "Oh no, 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 no," and then bang. And the only thing that was going through my head was, please, Lord, didn't take me. I cannot leave my lassies. I cannot. I said, they're not ready for this. They can't take me, no, like this. You can't take me like this. They didn't deserve that. I mean, eventually the car came to a standstill, and I mean, my armlet was out the window, and oh jeez, the pain. And I tried to make my mind looking, and I went, oh, I seen my hand, and I went, oh no, this is bad. I was a while before the emergency services came, but I mean, there's one point, the pain in my chest. I mean, gasping. Just gasping and gasping, trying to get air, and it was like a camera shutter. No, just the black coming down, and that light was getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I was scared. I was so frightened. I mean, the torch in my face. And snapping. Then everything was Brian, I heard it, you okay? And the policeman, I don't mind him, he came to the door, but he says, hang on, he says, the firemen are coming. No, we'll get you out, just hang on, hang on. I mind it was a policeman. He shouts, he says, hurry up, lads. This man's still alive, you can. And let's just say, stars and bleeps. The fireman said, it's a body bag we've got, no a stretcher. And I could hear them running, I could hear them running and shouting, he's alive, get a stretcher, no, this guy's alive. Long story, they came and they took me out the car and the ambulance and we were away to Aberdeen. But again, I mean, that lassie's, what they went through. Obviously, Lois didn't know about the car.
She never knew her birthday car.
She didn't know she had a car. And the police, 3 o'clock in the morning, it was, they are chapping the door. And eventually, Lois gets up and she came down and she says, you Lois Martin? She goes, aye. Your dad's Robert Martin? And aye. He says, look, he's been in a bad accident. And I was going, no, my dad's in his bed. And they went, no, he's been in an accident. And she's looking, and he said, a white Fiesta, and they gave she says, no, you've got we've not got a Fiesta.
She never knew.
We've not got a... And there was a bit of confusion, but she says, I'll go and get my dad, and she says, she went away up the stairs, into my room. I'm not there. And what that poor lassie, must have felt, I can't imagine. And like I said, Chloe was in Australia.
That's right.
She was out in Australia.
Yeah.
And that's the closeness of the two. They're not just sisters, they're the best of pals as well. No, when she does, she phones her big sister. And you can't make Chloe's like.
Aye.
No, and it's Chloe, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Dad's had an accident, they're taking him to hospital. What do I do? And it was Chloe in Australia phoned up Gemma and Richard, and they came down and sat with Lois, and eventually she went and stayed with them. The time I was in the hospital.
Can I read out this summary of injuries? It's sternal injury with associated pneumomediastinum. I'm not sure if that, but it sounds like your body. It sounds CRI. L1 undisplaced transverse process, L2 vertebral body end plate. R, I'm not sure if that's right side, distal radius and ulna complex. Left ankle, we are hashtag left subtalar dislocation with medial tilt of the talus. Suspension of a fracture at the anterior superior aspect of the left calcaneum. It goes on and on. And I've also got the list, which I don't think is the medication that you were on, but it's 13 different types of medication that you were on as well on the 18th of February. Distal femur, transverse lateral. The list goes on, and I know because we came in and saw you that both legs were just smashed to pieces, basically.
Yeah,
your right arm and your right wrist. Obviously the chest injuries as well.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
sternum,
your old head.
Old he'd made it, man.
Thankfully, somehow never got touched. So everything you were here to learn again. initially, so much was having to be done for you by the hospital staff. And this is end of February, so then, into March, the COVID is in the world and in the country, and they were gearing towards lockdown by the third week of March. Can you just describe your 2020 for then on, so that people can maybe put it into perspective?
The lockdown, I actually mind the day, because my brother came in to visit me, and then I mind they came in and says, "Look, you need to leave." He says, "Just go here." That's it. Hospital's shut.
So he
was just he had to go, and what do you mean shut? I said, "That's it. There's no more visitors." So here
nobody could get in, even the girls. Nobody could come and see you.
No. The only thing I was looking forward to was visitors. No, and seeing folk. I mean, that was a. I mean, a hospital visit is, dear me, it's an oasis. No, for anybody. But hey, it's such an integral part, because it's just to see a friendly face and thing. It's but yeah, and I says, "Well, what about my lassies?" Saying that's nobody's coming in. I had an outside room, which meant I had a window. And at that time, a window's a window, you look at it, it keeps the draft out. But that window became my centre point, my saving grace, was that window. Obviously, I'm in bed, and I mind they came and they were going to take my boots, the braces off. What a day. I look for them. Even when I got the plasters and all that off, and then they put in the braces and all that. But I mind that they were coming to take it off, and I had it in my head, that's it. I'm going to be walking. And they came and took it off, and I managed to get myself sitting on the side of the bed, fully excitement, cheesy grin on my face, I thought my legs had just drank a gallon of Red Bull, and that flight weight flying, I thought they were flying, they hadn't been having. I went, whoa! Right. And I mind the physios, I stood back, and I gets to get up the bed, woof, down like a sack of tatties. What's going on? I can't move. My legs aren't moving. I said, no. I couldn't take it in. And they gets me back up and they says, "No, Rob, we wouldn't have done this ordinarily, but you had to see this, to take it in. We need to learn you to walk again." And I went, "That's stupid. I'm not paralysed." "Yeah, we know. But your brain has to start, starting to recognise everything is working." That was a lot to take in. I did start to eventually get the legs moving, started to walk a bit, and I walk a bit. I got to the stage, I progressed onto the walking frame, and I used to power on about the wards and that. And I know in the night time, I was only supposed to be doing, but in my room, I'd paced out my room back and forth. I knew exactly how, but I got on the walking frame. I decided I needed a bit of fresh air. So I sneaked out and had my walker, and I went round about the hospital, and then, got myself back in again. And I mind in the morning, the physio as well, and she came down and she says, "Right, you." She says, "You've been outside." "Eh?" "You've been outside." I went, okay. who grassed me? Nobody. You were caught on camera. Didn't realise that the CCTV. Yeah, here's me. Aye, the hero. No, I'm leaning out this walker, finding it. So yeah. So then, after the sessions were by, they locked up my walker, so I couldn't get out. I had to plead to get my eye. Oh, please give me my walker back. No, you're in the doghouse. Yeah, like I said, that window became my saving grace. No, my girls came up. No, we looked through the window and no, you could communicate. That's where I got my pizzas. No, pizza, we managed to work out, no, open up the window. It was just a perfect thing for getting a pizza box through. So obviously I was furnished with many a nice pizza going through, sandwiches poked through. No, it was
the ordeal that you've been through so far is just crazy. But yet, when we did come and see you, you'd managed to battle it and overcome it, and still, hey banter and hey laugh. But there came a point for, they were always, maybe you'll get out, maybe you'll get out, and then I think it was August came, and then they were saying, well, maybe September, but you did. You decided yourself you were coming out, didn't you?
Yeah, it was 6 months. It's a long time. And I was lying in bed. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I said, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to get home. I said, I really need to get home. My mentally, that was me. I had it. So I got myself into my chair, and I went down to the nurse's station and says, look, that's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm coming out. So I said, need to get the paperwork. Arranged, let them know in the morning. But that's me. I'm finishing. I can't do it. I'm going home.
Rob, the other car that was involved that came into you, was that person okay? Did they survive?
Yeah. It was a young girl, Sarah. Sarah survived. She had leg injuries. But no, yeah, Sarah survived. But Sarah was, she was really good. No, I asked her, she was sending me sweeties, everything. Like, no, she was absolutely done, because Sarah seen me coming. She was sliding. And obviously where the road was coming down the hill, there was trees, I couldn't see her, but she seen me and she knew what was going to happen, and she says, no, she was saying, look, please speed up or slow down. By the way, it was coming, and she knew, she was just waiting for it, and then, bang.
Have you ever met her?
I did. Sarah worked in Springs, and so when I came out of the hospital, the Waynes had arranged a dinner at the Springs, so I was up and I was in there and I was looking at, I didn't, as I said, but I knew she was at the Springs, and here I seen this lassie, and she was walking with a limp, and I mind getting wheeled in there in my wheelchair, and I'm looking, I went, is it possible that this could be this Sarah? Yeah. And I mind that we were in and parked up, and she was going by, and I was looking, and I went, no, what? And she went, and I went, look, excuse me. And she says, yes, sir, what can I do for you? And I says, is your name Sarah? And she went, yeah. And I went, I'm Robert. And then, she just broke down. No, and she was, really cut up, because I mind I was going for x-rays every second day. I was getting more x-rays to make sure everything was healing right. I mind everybody's saying but Sarah was I was asking, no, how I was and how bad she felt. No, that I obviously know she was bad, but a couple of weeks and she was out.
Right.
And she didn't care when I was getting out. No way. And she was cut up with it.
But it's a credit to you, Rob, that you've never held any bitterness or anything against her.
No, that's I tell her that. I says, look, I says, don't go beating yourself up. There's nothing you could have done. So no, please, don't go beating yourself up out of this. It's what's happened. I mean, I didn't even forgive her for anything. Know what I mean? Because I never
feel anything against her.
had nothing at all. I'm just glad she's okay.
Brilliant.
I'm just glad, she's out and
Well done.
yeah, has managed to go on, with her life. So I never had any bitterness
Amazing.
whatsoever.
I remember there was a point where you were told the pain is going to always be there, the mobility's negative, get any better. And I know you've kind of fought that, but being told that, you know, your
dearie me.
negative work again, so the business at the fold. Do you know how do you face those? How did you face those things?
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I've worked hard. Everybody, the doctors, everybody's so pleased. No, they can't believe the progress. No, all through for the accident right up to where I'm is now. No, everybody's been. I was astounded. No, just how far I came. But even all that wasn't all me. And I would never have survived the accident. But I wouldn't have. When I'm looking back and seeing what everything I had to come through to get to this stage, no, I wouldn't have managed if I didn't have God alongside me. No, taking me by the hand and leading me through it, after one challenge after the other, no, forcing myself through the pain, no, and carrying me when I just feel I just couldn't go any further. I just, no.
You use a term that you just feel blessed just now, and again you've been pressing into to the Lord, and you know, I'd seen a strength in you in the Lord that was amazing. But you were able, I remember you was on the phone one night, and it was just not long after getting that there was some bad news in that about the medical side were saying it, yet you were just feeling blessed. How can that be?
It's funny, and I really don't know how I can explain it. But for the hospital on the night of the accident, right through to where I'm at the day, there's been one thing that came out of that night, and it was, don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid. And everything I went through, it's funny, you could take all this turmoil going on around about you, all these thoughts and fears and everything going in your mind, sleepless, all this is going on. But to hear an inner peace at the same time,
Wow.
that is what I was blessed with. That is what carried me through didn't matter, how many was, I had to break through whatever situation. And I've always had this inner peace. And I'm no fear of the future.
That's brilliant.
I'm no, and I can know it's weird because I don't can know what way it's going to go. I've still got quite a bit rehabilitation in front of me, and I know there'll be other situations and there'll be more challenges, but I'm no fear.
But there was a point that you were on so much medication and morphine and different things that were really strong medication, and that's really helped me. You did a detox, a cold turkey, a completely coming off, I think, because the balance of that you felt that was doing to your mind, and you described that as being the worst.
Oh, that was
worst
terrible.
moment even in all this journey. In terms of it was a different kind of worst moment, but maybe with the pain plus the anxiety plus everything. But you turned to God again.
I think at one point I was it 32 pills a day? No, I was on MSTs, gabapentin, Oromorph. I was countless. I can't even remember them all now. But mind, obviously, I'm addicted to them. And I was speaking to the doctor, and they had to come up with a plan to wean me off over the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I heard 6 months, no, not a hope. That's me. I didn't want to feel like this for another 6 months. Weaning off, this isn't it. So yeah, I nodded. Yeah, that'd be no bother. Right, we'll do that. Do that. Yeah, I'm stopping. It sounded good at the time, but I've never experienced anything like that. First couple of days, obviously, it's still in your system. It's still workable, and everything. 2-3 more days in, I started getting cramps. Started sweating and it was freezing. And I was in my bed and I had all my clothes on a tummy, but I've never. And then the cramps, wasn't sleeping. And through all that, the pain was every day was getting more and more and more. I remember I said, Lord, I can't do this. I've had enough. No, I can't do it. I says, you need to do something, because I just can't do this anymore. What I've learned, through all this journey is God will only let you tolerate what you can tolerate. He'll never let you sink. Mm-hmm. He'll never let you drown. And know what? He's there. He's waiting in the sidelines for you just to cry out. Mm-hmm. No. He's there, cramps, and the pain levels were just going through, and I cried out and I said, Lord, that's me. I'm done. I can't do this. And know this, it's funny. There was a calmness. I'm retching there in pain, screaming. But there was a calmness just came out of me. And I slept. I slept. And I hadn't slept, for that for this weeks. But I slept, and I woke up, and didn't get me wrong, it wasn't a miraculous, that was me, I was off or the drugs, it didn't work like that. But the next 3 weeks, when you just hand it over and just say, no, what, Lord, I can't do this myself. Like, the pain still went up. I still had the cramps, even though they were getting less as the time went on. But I managed it. With God alongside me. That was the difference. Yeah. And that is how I got through that.
Okay, you through it. Having been through so much and still going on, and as you've said, still feeling blessed and that you've got a closeness with God, it's amazing. And you would think that that's enough now, but even within the last few weeks, first of all, Lois was in a crash, which is a lot for you to handle, but if it happened to yourself. And then, worse than that, both the girls on June 12th were in an accident that meant that they had to go to, that Chloe's car was written off. They were both in Elgin Hospital. Traumatic again for you, and having to go there, wondering. Remember you said the two most precious things in your life, and I'm sure folk are watching going, what? How can this so much happen to one person? And I remember just a few days later, or maybe a couple of days later, you saying, I don't know how much more I can take. And yet, as a few weeks ago, when I've seen you bounce back again, press into God again, encouraging other people, fun I've been with you, you're the same, laugh and banter and passionate about so many different things. How can you keep going? If you got a message, the message surely that we've got for this time with you is to never give up. But what message would you give to anyone who's watching it, maybe is feeling, I've been through a lot and I'm not sure if I can keep going?
It's okay to ask for help. I'm the world's worst. I really am. No, I didn't like asking anybody. I didn't like putting anybody out. No, I can deal with it myself. But there comes a point where you can't deal with things yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's good to ask for help. The thing is, whether it's physical or mental, whether you use a doctor or a psychiatrist, and like I said before, the one constant is God took me through the physical, and He's right there beside me, taking me through the mental side of things.
Yeah, it's good.
And I'm not ashamed of that. Mm-hmm. I'm not ashamed of coming to the point of asking for help. Because, I mean, what's the point? I was gifted a second chance. Mm-hmm. No, I want to make the most of that second chance. I didn't want to be burdened down with things that have been suppressed and hang with. I want to, and again, what you want to say, a witness. No, that with God's help, it doesn't matter what comes, whether it's physical, mental, He's got your back, and you will get through it. I don't know, how long, the healing process takes, I don't know. But what I do know is this isn't for nothing. This hasn't happened for nothing. No, that God's got a plan. Whatever it is, I don't know. And at the end, there might be a light, and that'd be fine if this trial's come to an end. But if they didn't, then in fact, this is it's funny actually. I think I was in this the life group, and I was reading through my phone, and I've kept all these wee bits over the years, like wee cards, whatever. And I had them on my phone. I was reading through, and I actually forgot I had them. Whenever you do not understand what's happening in your life, just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, God, I know it's your plan. Just help me through it. You may not understand today or tomorrow, but eventually God will reveal why you went through everything you did. So instead of praying, why, Lord, my prayer will be, help me, O Lord, to pick up the pieces, wipe my tears, face the sun, and start over again. For all is possible when I place my faith and trust in you, my saving God. Faith is confidence in what we hope for, and it's assurance about what we do not see. That sums up my journey. That even though I can't touch God, I can't feel God, I can't in the physical, I've got the faith, and faith is He's there. He died for me. I've got a second chance, and it's all about grasping it. Whatever life holds, whether it's another trial, I'll keep looking up. Whether I'm at the end of it, and hey, there is good times ahead. Not that I've not had good, but and this is the thing. It doesn't matter. No, I'll grab it because Jesus' salvation is the greatest gift, and I said before, it doesn't matter what comes, all the blessings, but the greatest blessing of all is salvation.
Yep. And that is available to everybody.
And that's it.
I'm so glad that you've got it. I'm so glad that Alison got it.
Yeah.
And our prayer is that other people that have even been watching us can get it. Can receive
and all you need
the
to do
gift
is,
of salvation.
Yeah. Open your heart. Open your heart. That's all you need to do.
Brilliant, Rob. Rob, what can we say? It's been probably the most emotional and most intense in the amount of things that you've been through. Thank you so much for opening up your heart to us, though.
No, thank you for hearing me.
Really brave, gone through a lot of this stuff again, but we know that it's an incredible story to tell, and we're so encouraged that you are where you're at still today after everything you've been through. Thank you so much, Rob.
Oh, thank you.
2 in-person services, one at 9:30 and one at 11. So make sure